Hi everyone. Today we are going to be making potato chips and we are going to be using two types of potatoes to make these potato chips to see which potato makes the best chips. At the end of the video we are going to compare the two types of chips and we are going to explore to see what went wrong and what went right. So we have two types of potatoes. We have russet potatoes and we have Yukon Gold potatoes. These are yellow waxy potatoes and russet potatoes are more starchy. So we're going to peel the potatoes and we're going to place them in some water. And this water is just a little bit cold but not too cold. And we are going to rinse these potatoes. I'm going to use the mandolin and slice the potato just a few millimeters, maybe about 2 to 3 millimeters in thickness, just enough that it's translucent and you can see your hands through the potatoes. You don't have a mandolin? No problem. I once made potato chips using a knife, but it's more of a tedious process and it takes quite some time and you don't always get the best results. As you can see, my hands through the potatoes and it's translucent, and it's going to get more translucent than this. We're going to wash the potatoes in some cold water about 0 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to rinse off the starch from the potatoes, and that's how you get the crispiness. Now we're going to wash the potatoes for a few times until the water runs clear. And this is what it looks like. The potatoes got much more clearer and much more translucent. I am changing the water, and this water that I'm using has some chips of ice in it. And this batch of water is about minus 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Now the potatoes are able to separate easily, and I'm just going to slide them through the water, and I'm going to let it rest for about 15 minutes in ice cold water. So we have our Yukon Gold potatoes sliced in cold water, and we have our russet potatoes the same. Now I've lined my countertop with paper towels and spread each potato slice on the paper towel. And now I'm going to cover the paper towel and pat them dry. It looks tedious, but once you have placed the potatoes in ice cold bath, then it becomes much easier. It's like throwing frisbee. We have our Yukon Gold potatoes dried. We're going to remove the paper towel, and now we're going to remove the paper towel off the russet potatoes. The yellow potatoes are the Yukon Gold potatoes and the white potatoes are the russet potatoes. Russet potatoes have a higher starch content and Yukon Gold potatoes is more waxy. Whenever I am frying, I like to use a wok because I get that crispiness that I'm looking for. I have my wok on medium heat. I'm going to add one chip into it, and once it begins to fry, then I'm going to add the rest of potato chips. If you leave them in the oil, they get too dark, and then when they come from the oil, they still continue to fry and they get even darker. So once they begin to turn brown, then you want to remove them from the oil so that they get a perfect color while they are cooling. Let's go ahead and fry our Yukon Gold potato chips. So one of the cons with russet potatoes is that you have to twice fry them for the best results. You take them out of the oil when they're almost done, and then you place them back in for another 30 seconds. The Yukon Gold potatoes took the oil very well. They are very crisp and they fried in less time. The russet potatoes fried for 18 minutes and the Yukon Gold potato chips fried for 14 minutes. And that's a lot of saving on time. The potato chips are ready. They are nice and cool. And we're gonna go ahead and season them. Feeling the texture of the Yukon Gold potato chips, they have more body, they are more heavy, they feel more crisp. And I can imagine that the texture is amazing. So we're gonna season this with some salt. The russet potatoes, these are more lighter in texture and they don't have a strong body as the Yukon Gold potatoes. So we're gonna season this with hot ranch and salt. At the end, the Yukon Gold potatoes made the best chips. It was more flavorful, it took on the sea salt quite well, the texture was right, and the frying time was less. And it had more body and the texture was even way much more better. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, drop a comment in the comment section and let me know which potato chips you would have enjoyed. Thank you for joining. See you on another good day for another great recipe.